Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for watching today. So today is Monday, the 17th, and we're going to be talking about objectives, not objections, objectives when you're making your phone calls, when you're making your prospecting calls and making connections with people. There's 5 things to keep in mind all the time, because so many of us, if you don't go over this before you make your calls, you lose track. These are objectives that you're supposed to be. The whole point of making prospecting calls, building connections with people, talking to them, following up with them to earn their business for the future. Could be tomorrow, could be 10 years from now. These are things to talk about or think about. So number one, your job when making these calls, number one, most important, is to set an appointment with them to discuss real estate and their future needs or needs now. What I mean by appointment is it could be all the way to a listing appointment, because they actually have to sell now. It could be, I'm going to be looking really soon and I want to sit down and go over your needs and wants as a buyer. So that's definitely if you get them at the right time, but also set an appointment to actually take 10 or 15 minutes, 20 minutes of your time, of the time, to go over your qualifications, your positives, your reasons for why they should choose you to buy or sell their house. Because when you're making your prospecting calls, your job is to get through you have to make 10, 15, 20, 30, 40 calls at a time. And you might not get a hold of people at the right time for them. So you got to come up with a good script. Like I'm just throwing right off the top of my head. If I'm calling someone, hey Joe, this is Tony Geraci, Century 21 Homestar, just following up with you again. I talked to you, obviously you have your notes in hand. Talked to you about 6 months ago, just checking up on you, how things are going. Do you need any help with real estate? Obviously you're going to have notes of things that you talked about, so you could follow up with those. But in general, just let them know that, hey, I want to know that I'm here for you whenever you need me. I value your business, but if you have some time, I know I'm probably catching you at a bad time right now. Sorry about interrupting anything, but do you have 10, 15 minutes or 20 minutes sometime this week where we could actually spend some time? I could go over all the values I have to help you buy or sell in the future, so I could be your trusted real estate advisor. And asking them for an appointment so you're not catching them off guard when you're keeping them on the phone. Now, that's when you have to dance on the line. If they're ready to talk now, like, yeah, I'm ready to talk right this second. Yeah, you're not going to give up the phone. You're not going to go, okay, goodbye. Just let me call you back. When you got a customer in hand, yes. But normally with your prospecting calls, most people are not going to want to pick up the phone and talk for 20 minutes to you. It's just a quick call. Hey, do you want to spend time? They might want to say, no, I have time now. So you got to come up with a good script to set an appointment for now. They're like, well, we're not looking to buy or sell for another year, but I would like to talk to you. Great, let's set that up for 6 months from now. So it gives you 6 months of planning before you buy or sell. What's a day? Let's put it in our calendar right now. So setting an appointment, that's number one. Number two is creating value of what your value is to their needs and wants and priorities of what they want when they need to buy or sell. So you have to figure out what is your value within a few words or sentences, your tagline, your marketing of what you have to offer. I know you're going to have a whole buyer presentation, seller presentation when you get to that point, but when you're making your calls, how in a quick way are you going to explain to them your value of why you're going to put their needs and wants and motivations as your priority and why they should use you? So that's number two. Number three is pre-qualifying them. Pre-qualifying them in 2S. One, if you're pre-qualifying them, if they are someone that should stay on your database to follow up with every month, a quarter, twice a year, yearly, for a long period of time. Pre-qualify. Are these people even worth my time to call, be connecting with them when you're talking to them? Yeah, they sound great. They're not yelling at me. They sound interested. They don't know another realtor. There's lots of things you could ask them, but pre-qualifying them, are they worth being on your database? And then also, if they're interested in buying or selling, pre-qualifying financially with a lender if they're looking to buy soon, pre-qualifying them for selling. I mean, the quick questions, what do you think your house is worth? How much equity you have? Sorry to say, my opinion, no crystal ball. To agents over the next few years, 1, 2, 3 years, who knows? There's people that need to sell in the next that bought over the last few years, way over value, over asking price. With 3%, 5% down, they're going to be underwater. Hope it's not going to be a lot of people, but there are going to be people that are underwater on their mortgage. Hasn't happened much yet, but it will, because someone's going to want to sell about a year from now that bought 6 months ago because their job, they have to relocate, whatever, and just found out, sorry, your house is worth identical to what you bought it for, and all your costs are going to be bring you down with closing costs and that. So pre-qualifying them financially, if you could take them on as a listing and or buyer. Number 4, make sure they're committed to you. So your job when making your objectives of making these prospecting calls, to see if they're committed to you. Either verbally, they sound like they're interested every time you talk, they pick up the phone. Today's day and age, if you're calling somebody and they have caller ID and they know you're calling, I don't know anybody that's consistently calling somebody. If someone's consistently calling me, salesperson or not, I'm saving their phone number in my phone, so I know that they're who it is when they're calling me. Also, when you're calling them, hey, tell them, hey, please make sure, share your contact information with them. Tell them, hey, make sure you store me in your phone so you know when I'm calling, and if you need anything, you have my number in there. So when you call, it's 2 reasons. One, they keep their information. And so many times agents forget to share their contact information so they can easily store it in their phone. Oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes I forget to say that because it's so obvious to me. When I talk to people, I'm sharing my contact information with them, sharing my contact card so they can just hit a button, save in their phone. You should be doing that automatically when you get off the phone. After actually every phone call, if you leave a message for someone, hey, by the way, so I'm going to be sending a text with sharing my contact information. You could save in your phone and send people a text. Whole nother video. I'm going to do that video probably tomorrow. I know what quick things you could do to make sure people save your information. But so again, making sure that number 4 got off track. There's making sure they're committed to you, either verbally or when they're ready, that they're committed to you, that when you meet with them the next time, that they're going to sign a buyer agreement with you or a listing agreement with you. So again, that's whole nother scripts and things we could go over in detail, but just want to hit the 5 things to think about when making the calls. And then last, number 5 is getting them to say the word yes. So asking them questions. So after, like, end of the phone call, hey, Joe, did did everything I say about the value and what I give to you when you're looking to buy or sell houses, that's something that you think is good for you and you would want, we could have a good working relationship in the future? Yes. Do you have anybody else that you would use, or would you like to use me when you're ready? Yes. I'm just throwing out quick things right off the top of my head, but you have to figure out a script of things that you say, those things that get them to say yes, it's comfortable and rolls off your tongue and is on a piece of paper so you could practice that. Again, I'm just throwing out ideas here of what you can say to get them to say the word yes, and they're ready to use you when they're ready. Could be tomorrow, could be 10 years from now. So those are the objectives. I don't know why I'm having a problem saying that word today. But that is what your goal is for prospecting. Not just say, hey, just gonna say hello and how's the kids and all of that and goodbye. these are the things that you got to be thinking about as you get people on the phone, as the messages and the scripts that you're going to leave in the voicemails and the things that you're going to be texting them or emailing them. These are the things that you're trying to accomplish. So that's it for today on the Monday, beginning of the week. And remember, call, text, email me anytime. I'm happy to put you in my schedule and help you out with anything that you need. So have a great week. Well, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.